talk to you about FLIPACLIP. You are going to be using this app to create an animation. This app is free. You can put it on your Chromebook easily. So you can also download it for other devices, but it's a free app. We're going to explore this week creating some dance move animations for the characters that we came up with for our dance party. In order to work with this, sorry, I'm gonna have to shoot that. Okay, there we go. In order to work with this, start a new animation, what I want to do is go to this little plus sign here. So I can name my animation. What I want you guys to do is name it, since you're going to be turning them into me, just name it your name. So I'm going to name it my name. This is going to go into a class folder, so I need to be able to know whose work is whose. So please name your animation your name. You can also choose a background here for your animation. There's a couple of scenes that are available, and there's different types of paper you could use. I kind of like this little wrinkly paper. Maybe I'll use this wrinkly paper as my background. You can choose a canvas size. I like the YouTube canvas size, but it gives you some other options. For Instagram or TikTok, you know, if you get really into this and you want to make some videos for TikTok and stuff like that, that's possible. I'm going to keep the YouTube one as my size. You can also choose your frames per second here. So right now, the setting is at 12 frames per second. So for our 1 second animation loop, you guys are going to be making at least 12 frames here, or making 12 frames to get that 1 second. If you click on this, you can change it. You can see how it will affect your animation. So if I were to go less frames, you know, and do, okay, so if I were to do less frames, say if I did 6 frames, you can see how that slows down the animation and kind of makes it jerky. You know, you could go and do more frames, but the more frames you do, you know, the animation is going to appear smoother, of course, but it's also going to take more work on your part to animate each of these frames. Many animations are done at 24 frames per second. It is a good, smooth level to do your animation at. Since we're learning, I think, you know, starting at 12 is going to give us plenty to work with. You know, if you've done a little bit of animation, you want to, you know, have something a little tougher, you know, certainly feel free to step up to the higher level animation. So once I've got mine selected at 12, I'm going to select, there we go. So it's got my name. I've got it set at 12 frames per second. You guys, of course, are going to be making a 1 second animation. I've got my background. You know, you can choose any background that you'd like. I like this crinkle paper, so I'm going to use it. And I am going to create my project. Okay. We came up with some character designs on Monday for these theoretical people that we might be inviting to as competitors to a dance party. I'm going to go with my design for Cool Berry because I thought he's pretty fun and I want to see how he dances on paper. Okay, so I've got my pen tool over here. You can do a couple things with the pen tool. You can change the color by clicking over here on your wheel. I do want my ink to be black, so I'm going to keep it, but you can select other colors here. You can also change the scale of your pen tool. If you click and hold on it, go slide up, that makes it bigger, slide down, that makes it smaller. Okay, so you can change the size, the diameter of your line. I want mine to be about there. Okay, happy with that. So you've also got an eraser, a lasso tool, a paint fill bucket, and a text bucket if you want to type text as well. Down here, these are your frames. I know that already that I'm going to have 12 frames, so I might just go ahead and add my 12 frames for my 1 second of footage. You know, you can have more frames than 12, but this is the minimum that is required, is the 12 for your animation. When you're working on your animation, you do want to make sure that you are starting at the beginning. There you go. All right, so I'm back to the beginning. You're also going to see some different things up here. This is the copy. This is the paste. These buttons go forward and back so that you can change a step. You also have different levels here. You can have different layers in your design. We'll get to some of that in a bit. But for now, let's start on our first frame and just draw our berry. So if you've got, you know, the stylus, you can be drawing with it on your screen. If you don't have the stylus, you can use the trackpad to draw as well. It's a little tricky, but you know, even if you have a, you know, a simple design, it's okay. For this, we're just practicing animation, some fun guys going to a dance party together. So we don't have to stress too much about having a very complicated design. Something simple is fine. I'm doing my little strawberry character, Cool Berry. And you know, I don't like, I'm going to go back so you can see me hit the back button there. I don't like the way that the thickness of the line is. I think I made my line too thick. I'm going to just come back here to my line and make it just a little smaller. I wanted it a little smaller, I think. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Let's try that again. So I'm going to draw my berry shape. Yeah, that's more what I want. And I'm going to be making a little animation of him. I'm thinking he's going to be, since he's a cool guy, his animation, his dance is going to be a little subdued. He's pretty chill. He wants to give off a cool vibe, so he doesn't want to get, you know, doesn't want to see him too crazy. He's got his shades on, got kind of a little bit of a surly expression. Okay, I'm gonna give him some glasses. These are supposed to be shades. So I'm gonna darken the inside of them. This would be an okay time if I wanted to increase the scale of my pencil. I could certainly do that to darken the shades. I'm gonna, you know, lean into sort of a, I don't know, funky, imperfect animation style, just to give it a little character here. So, you know, again, it doesn't need to be perfect. We don't need to stress out about it being perfect. I am going to give them some little spots. I guess the little strawberry seeds. Sometimes when things are not perfect, it gives them a little more character and makes them fun to appreciate. I do want that to be a little straighter. So I'm going to take some time here. You know, if you, you know, do something that you don't like, you can always go to the eraser tool and erase it. I'm going to try and follow my own advice and not stress out too bad about the details and just get to the animation. We give him some simple arms and legs. He's just sort of standing here at the beginning of his dance. Make this foot go this way. Okay, great. So we've got Cool Berry. He's ready to dance. He's in his dance pose. So one thing that you can do to, I guess, make it a little easier on you as you're working is use the lasso tool. So I'm going to use the lasso tool here, and that's going to draw around my character. And that basically makes a box. I can do a number of things with this lasso tool. I can pick up and move my character. Say maybe I wanted to relocate him. You know, I can do that with this lasso tool. I can also make him larger or smaller. Oh, geez. Sorry, I clicked on something I shouldn't have. I'm going to have to re-lasso him. I can make him larger or smaller by grabbing the corner buttons. I can also shrink him in the other direction or totally flip him around if I wanted to change him. You know, the best thing to do is to really try this out for yourself and play around with it, you know, and just kind of see what you can do. So I like him here about in the center. That's where I'm going to put him. Another thing you can do with a lasso, and I'm going to re-lasso him real quick, is you can copy him. So I made a copy of him now. So if I go to the next screen, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so what you see is a dull version of your first screen. This is called the onion skin. You're basically seeing what you've done in the last layer because it makes it a little easier to animate him. So if I go to paste by hitting the little clipboard up here, I'm going to get a second copy of Barry, my fella here. All right. And I'm going to move him. It's giving me a hard time. Let me try that again. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I want him to be moved down a little bit as if he is starting to dance. Okay. I'm going to kind of I think I'm going to try to make his legs bend at first, almost like he's just coming down into like a little squat kind of move. So he's going to be sort of a subdued dancer because he's keeping it cool. So I do want his arms and legs to change. So I am going to use my eraser tool and erase out the legs. Erase those out. And I'm also erasing out my arms. So that only erases the arms and the legs on this version, like this level. So I'm on level 2. You can look down at the bar and see what level you're on any moment. I'm on level 2. Okay, so he's kind of crouched down a little bit more. I need to redraw those legs in. You know, before I do that, I'm going to actually make a little lasso of him right now. And I'm going to copy that. The copy button. There we go. So next time I make him in another layer, I've got his body and maybe I want to change his legs, but I don't have to erase arms and legs each time. Okay. So I'm going to come back to the pen tool. It can be a little confusing looking at the pen tool and trying to determine what layer you're in. Just remember that last layer is going to appear a little lighter. Okay, I'm going to try to make it seem like his feet are still planted in the same place, but he is bending his legs a little bit, and that's changing the position that he's in. Okay. Redraw some of these sidelines in just a little bit. There we go. Just neaten him up some. And then next, his arms. I kind of feel like I want his arms to stay in a similar position for now. I could have left him in. It's okay. We'll give him a little bit of a shift. Okay, so he's squatting down a little bit now. So I'm going to go to my third panel, boop, and it'll show you just the last onion skin. So he's squatted down some. I feel like I could make him go even lower here. So I'm going to paste him again using my clipboard. This is just giving me his body. And I'm going to shift him down even lower. There we go. That looks good to me. I'm happy with that. So I am going to, again, redraw my little feet. Redraw my little feet in place. So I want him to just be almost bending down. And that's going to push his legs even a more extreme angle, an even lower crouch. All right. What about his arms? Maybe his arms are going to start doing something now. So I'm going to make it like he's just lifting his arms off, his hips just a little bit in this frame maybe. All right, good deal. So let's check out the next frame. All right, here he is. Can even see, if I play over here, I can see what he's looking like so far. It's going down to a nice crouch. I like that. I like that. When it comes up, if it does, just click off of it. This is a free app, but unfortunately they do have some advertisements that we have got to work around. I'm going to try for one more low down one, like almost like he's grazing the ground. Okay. I might shift him over a little bit to the left as well. Ooh. Okay, good. I'm happy with that. Get my pen, and I am going to touch up my sides a little bit. It's been the case of the sides have needed a little bit of touching up. That's okay. Some of these like little squiggles are a little different in each animation screen are going to give the character some life to some movement, some unexpected movement. So there we go. His little feet bent about as far down as we can go. His arms from last time, I'm going to start moving those maybe even further out. This one was a little further in last time, so I'm going to have to move it out a little bit more subtly. All right, so there he is. So he's kind of squatted down. And this one, the next one, I'm going to start raising him back up again. All right. So what I might do in this case, I might just reverse what I've got going on for the first one. So okay, I'm going to get my lasso and I will go here and then I'm going to copy this guy and I'll go into the next one and I'm going to paste them. All right. So I'm just trying to reverse what I've got from my first couple of frames. And then I'm going to go maybe back to screen. Screen 3, 4, 5. Okay. Go back to screen 2. Yeah. And then I'm going to use my lasso tool. I'm going to copy this guy. Okay. I'm going to go back to screen 6 here. And I'm going to paste it. So I'm getting a little up and down movement. Next, I'll go back to screen 1. I'm going to lasso this guy here. Copy him. And then I'm going to paste them. Okay, so let's take a second and just play this and see how it looks so far. So we've got this up and down movement of this guy. Up and down movement of our little strawberry guy. So what happens at the top? I could keep him here, but it might be interesting to, instead of, you know, going right back up and down, like what if he, you know, continued to like stretch upward now? Like what if I changed it up and he continued to stretch upward? Okay, so I've got a copy of this guy, the same guy here. I can paste him again. I know that I want him to go up, so maybe I can just move the character upward here. What if I made his legs suddenly start to grow up and up and up, and he was just kind of raising up into the air at this point? I think that might be kind of cool. So I'm going to raise him up just a little bit. Let me push him over to the side some. I'm going to have to get my eraser again because I know I'm going to have to take those arms and legs out again. One thing I wish about this program is that there was a way to save multiple items on your clipboard, so that you could save the strawberry in multiple states. Because I feel like you just have that one save. Well, you can do a lot with it. You just have to be kind of careful about the order you work in, I suppose. But I'm gonna keep his feet sort of in the same area. Maybe want this one to be a little more planted. And I actually want it to come out of the same place on his body because I want him to feel like he's just kind of, I don't know, stretching upward. Kind of like something you might see in Adventure Time. Jake, the dog, and his kind of animations. Okay, so now then, let's see, what do we want the arms to be doing? I can see where the arms were attached before up here. Maybe I just want the arm to be like starting to loosen up a little bit, coming out. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Maybe it's loosening up a little bit as he's jumping up. I feel like I need to reinforce some of these body lines. That was a little wiggly. If I don't like a line I made, I can go back to the sort of back button and click that until I get back to the point I want to change. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so he's headed upward. I am going to go to the next frame and I'm going to paste again. And I'm going to move him even further up. I don't want to go too far in one frame or it will just feel weird. So I think that looks pretty good in terms of distance. I'm going to erase these arms back out a little. Okay. And then I'm going to grab my pen. Kind of keeping the feet planted from last time and just extending my legs even further up. It's almost like his legs are just getting crazy long. Okay, and I've got the place where they were attached to the body before. Arms. And I'm just going to open them up even more here. All right. All right. Next frame. He's looking tall. I am going to add another guy, move him even further up. This one's probably going to be my topmost one, and then I'm going to kind of shrink them back down after this, back down to the original. All right, so I'm happy with the placement there. I'm going to get my eraser. I'm going to erase out the legs. Okay. Now I'm going to get my pen and I am going to add my feet. All right. Maybe the arms are starting to go up a little bit because he's kind of hitting the top point and he's about to start coming down in the other direction. Okay, so I've got this guy, he's looking good. I am going to basically move in reverse. So I'm going to go back one frame. Yeah, and I'm going to grab this guy and copy him. And then I'm going to paste him here. All right. And I went back another frame. And I'm going to grab this guy. I'm going to copy him. And I'm going to paste him here. All right. I'm trying to move it so that it moves in a loop. The next frame I have should be my original strawberry guy, I'm pretty sure. Let's see how he animates and see if he's moving pretty smoothly at this point. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with him. I think he's got a little funky dance going on there. I can see a couple places maybe under his arms where I need to do a little better job at erasing. But I think he's got a nice little groove going. I'm pretty happy with his little dance. I did want to show you a couple more things here that might be useful to you. So if I roll back to the beginning, one thing you can do is you can add color to your animation by adding another layer. That's a pretty fun thing to do. If I go down here, I can add a layer. I'm going to add that layer 2. Maybe I want to add color, but I still want to see my black and white image on top of it. So I need to swap them. So layer 2 is underneath layer 1. Okay, so maybe I want to make my strawberries glasses red, or maybe I want to make his body red. How about that? Let's try that. Let's make the body red. I'm going to go to the pen tool. I'm going to go color. I'm going to select a red that I like. There we go. That looks good to me. And maybe with a pen, I'm going to make it a little bigger so that I can color them in a little easier. Okay, so now I can color them. Again, you know, this is everything about this animation tool is like kind of rough. So I think it's okay for the coloring to be a little rustic too. Doesn't have to be perfect. Might have some charm, you know, if it was a little imperfect. of course, everybody has a different aesthetic. I like the idea that this can be a little rough. It reminds me, you guys are probably too young for this, but they used to have these great animations for Pop-Tarts that were just so silly and rough like this. Okay, so there he is. This whole color layer just runs throughout the entirety of the animation. So I can color my little guy in every screen. Should I want to do that? Again, I'm going to go with the vibe that it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. I think it's going to be perfectly charming for it to be a little off. I'm just going to do a couple frames here. You guys can do coloring in all your frames if you choose to. I'll show you an animation that I did a little earlier that has coloring in all the frames. It's a taco kind of dancing. All right, well, let's just check it out and see what it looks like with the color and the animation. It might be cool to, like, you can make the color, some kind of color change part of the animation if you choose to. You could have it go from one color to another as part of your animation. So that could also be a neat way to deal with the animation. But if you just click out of them, it's fine. All right, so if I wanted to share this one as it is, I can go here to make it a movie. You get different options on how you want to save it. I do not want to save it as an MP4. Remember that you guys are going to have to save it as a GIF file. So make sure you select GIF before you make it a movie. All right. When I make it a movie here, it's going to take a minute to upload it, but here's my little movie. I could share this. I could save this to my Google Drive. You guys eventually, when you turn them in, you're going to turn them into a shared folder on Google Drive. So yeah. I did want to show you another, I'm going to shut this because I want to show you another project that I've done of a taco. And this one I colored in fully. Well, I colored in all the frames where I wanted to add some color. You can see this has got that kind of rustic coloring effect as well. This one, I was just playing around with, how could I animate, not so much moving the figure, but moving the figure around the space, I sort of like what I got with the strawberry dance a little better. I did actually another version of the strawberry. I'll show that to you as well. He doesn't have any spots on, but he's got kind of some cool breakdance moves. So check him out. Woo. Yeah. So, yeah, this is a really fun little app. This is not a dance move one, but this is a little one that I did that is a plant growing. You can do a lot of different things with this app. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you play around with it. Like I said, you can, make things that you can post to TikTok or other different applications. So it's a lot of fun. Anyway, I hope that this has been helpful as you start to think about how you'd like to animate your character for the dance party. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with.